Welcome to the Wedding Potluck, a wedding planning podcast about navigating the ups and downs of wedding planning and marriage. Hosted by wedding industry pros, Belinda, owner of Sovereign Bee, an event planning company with a roster of A-list celebrities, and Christian, aka DJ Menace, owner of an award-winning wedding entertainment company for over 10 years, along with special guests ranging from wedding vendors to real-life couples.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Potluck. Christian, aka DJ Menace here, alongside
Belinda from Sovereign Bee.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're dating ourselves right now because half the people are like, what? What are they saying?
I'm a DJ though, so I can know, I have an excuse. Anyway, welcome back to another episode here at the Wedding Potluck. Today, we're going to continue our journey along the avenue of figuring out who are these key vendors that we need for our special day, right?
Correct.
Today we have a big one. I would say it's usually on the top of the list.
Yeah, top three. Top three? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a top three.
Who is it, Belinda? Who do we have?
We have a photographer today.
Photo.
We have Michael Ramos.
Ooh.
From MJR Pics. Did I get it right, Michael?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Michael, MJR Photography.
Okay.
MJR Photography.
MJR Photography.
So for those of you watching on YouTube, he's here actually on video with us remotely. And for those listening, we hope to get some great nuggets for you guys to help you along this photo journey as well. Because guess what, guys? These are memories that you're going to look back on for years.
Yeah.
10, 20, 30.
They capture everything you miss.
Yeah.
Because it goes by so fast that you will see the pictures and you'll be like, did that happen? That happened at my wedding?
Yeah. Why was my tia on the floor? She drank too much, but we have it on. We took a picture.
Floor.
Yeah.
Tia de 70 años humping the floor.
Michael got it. Don't you worry.
So Michael, tell us a little bit about you and about your company.
So my name, again, Michael Ramos. I'm from Secaucus, New Jersey, raised in Union City. And I've been doing photography for 13 years. And, my style is a little bit more of kind of modern, timeless, very editorial, sexy. And
editorial sexy. I like the editorial sexy part.
You got me. I want to book you. And I don't even need a wedding photographer.
Yeah. That's definitely what I am. I try to make people feel sexy without being creepy.
Okay. That's always a plus, Michael.
Good thinking.
Yes. So I've been doing photography for 13 years. I do also, I do maternity and boudoir, but my main photography profession is wedding photography. I only do 25 weddings a year. Very close to my clients. Very boutique. Spend more time with each client and not just show up the day of.
Okay. So we have some questions for you. Christian and I have curated some questions. And then we also want you to maybe give us some tips that our couples can ask photographers when looking for that perfect fit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Christian, you start.
Oh, dang. She always gets me when I'm not ready. I'm over here thinking, what's for dinner? I'm kidding.
Potluck, baby. It's a potluck.
So, do you prefer Michael or Mike? Sorry.
Mike is fine.
Okay. Mike, so this is something that I personally get asked all the time as an entertainment. I don't know if you know this. I actually own an entertainment company, so I have a DJ entertainment background, and that's my connection with weddings. But I get this asked a lot because a big concern nowadays, and if you're talking about modern approaches, are couples trying to enjoy more of their day. As we mentioned before, it goes by fast, and we're trying to figure out how do we maximize time in general, and that connects with timelines, so on and so forth. So my question to you is, what are your thoughts on first looks, right? Because first looks obviously have become very popular in the sense of maybe it's not so traditional because, the old school way of thinking, you're not supposed to be seeing the bride till she walks down the aisle, whatever, but that's all out the window. It doesn't matter anymore. How do we save time? Is it important to you? Is it something that you recommend? What do you think?
For me, I think it's preference. If they're having their ceremony at a church, and they give themselves ample time to do the traditional way, I let them do what they want to do, because at the end of the day, we're here to cater to what their needs are. But with that being said, as professionals, we need to guide them in the right direction as well. So sometimes brides come in and they're not really sure, or they don't know enough about.
They don't got a clue. They don't got a clue, Michael. Sometimes
I'm trying to be professional here.
Well, yeah, no, we talk how it is.
It's the wedding potluck. Give it to us how it is.
We say how it is. They don't got a clue. They're coming in here. Whatever their friends told them to do, they're coming. They're going to repeat
TikTok
it.
is telling them,
or TikTok, right? Or whatever TikTok's telling them.
I think it's very important to help them do the things that they want to do, but also educate them so they're not shooting themselves in the foot. So when it comes to events that are in the same location, I basically tell them we cannot do it, just because I want them to enjoy cocktail. And when they're missing out cocktail, not only are they missing out, but the closest family members that you want to enjoy the cocktail hour are going to miss out as well. And what I always tell them, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, because we're going to sacrifice the cocktail hour, but we're also not going to get enough pictures. So you're doing it in vain. So I would rather, I'm not a yes man when it comes to my clients. I've lost clients.
I like him already.
Yeah. I'm not a yes man. I don't tell my clients yes to get their business. I've actually lost clients, and then they come back to me afterwards like, oh man, you're right. But sometimes they say, oh, well, this photographer said they could do it in this timeline. I'm like, okay, you can go with them, but I'm telling you it's not possible. And the thing is that
let me interrupt you 1 second. Yeah. Let me interrupt you 1 second. So just to clarify, what he's saying is if all your events are in one location, so if you have ceremony, reception, cocktail hour in the same location, a first look is necessary, because if you don't do a first look in those locations, we're going to have to take you out to take pictures during cocktail hour because we don't have any other time.
Or the reception sometimes.
Right. But if you have a ceremony at a church or at a religious establishment, right? And then there's like a 2-hour gap before you get to your venue, then hey, okay, don't do your first look, because you're going to have that time to take pictures. But how much time do you think couples should allocate for you getting those money shots, like people call them, right? Those money shots that they want to see in their wedding album. How much time do they need for that?
So when it comes to me, I only need 45 minutes, an hour. With just alone time. So that's definitely what I anything more than that is happiness. But because I do the engagement sessions and I get to know my clients and I get to try to be efficient with them during that, and by the time we get to the wedding, we're game ready, I could have all their wow pictures within 45 minutes to an hour with no distraction. That means
no wedding planner telling you to hurry up.
No wedding planner. Sometimes wedding planners tell me so many times, look at the time, like, listen, you're wasting time telling me the time. Let me just do my thing. I love you, Belinda. Love you, Belinda. Yeah. I'm not
shout out to Belinda.
Yeah, shout out to Belinda. I'm not telling me about the time. But no, in all seriousness, when it comes to what kills a vibe is the Tia Maria trying to talk to
Betty.
Me, or all these distractions. When you give me 45 minutes, we're good.
Or hunting people down. I feel like that's another one.
Or hunting people down.
Everybody's all over the place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. And what about, how do you feel when couples give you a photo shot list of 40 pictures? Like, oh, I want a picture with this cousin and that cousin and my cousin's baby. And so how do you feel about shot lists? Because I get different reactions when I provide photographers shot lists. They're like, some photographers tell me, I'm not doing this. They just simply tell me, I'm not doing this. So what do you...
Yeah. Okay, so the way that I think about it, and I think we spoke about this before, I think photography, and this is going to be weird coming from a photographer isn't a necessity. It's a luxury when it comes to a wedding. You could have little cameras on the tables and have people take pictures. So what we're providing is a luxury service. And with that luxury service, you have to cater to what they want. But again, you cater to a point, and then you have to tell them what's realistic. So it's all about managing expectations So when it comes to like, let's say if somebody comes up to me and says, I want this picture, but you know, what gets annoying is I want a picture of him looking at me. I want a picture of our first kiss. I want a picture of mom, dad doing that. I'm like, guys, I've been doing this for 15 years. I could do that stuff. So
we don't need a list. We don't need a list.
So that
I feel like the family list is important personally.
That list pisses me off. That list pisses me off. But the list of my grandmother left something to me before she passed away, and this is something very important to me. You know, I have an uncle coming from Canada. I really want a picture with him. Those are things that are non-negotiable, and I'll do with pleasure. So it really depends on what it is. And family lists are very important because I am not perfect. I have done weddings that I forgot to take a picture of an aunt with an uncle or whatever. And that's why, and who knows? I don't know who Uncle Bob is. So, oh, you didn't take a picture of my Uncle Bob. Who the hell is that? I don't know your family. So I think it's very important to communicate because most of the time I would say 50-50 I do with wedding planners or without wedding planners. Whether I have a wedding planner there or not, what I do is I have multiple emails going out with questionnaires throughout the time that we're getting ready for the wedding. One of the questionnaires that I send out is a questionnaire of what are the important shots for families. Now, I coach them too, because, you have to the only way to get what you want is by kind of maneuvering what you want. So instead of just giving them free reign, you tell them what are the outcomes of different things. Because some families, some brides want a picture with and without the groom, with them and with this up. Like, dude, you're married. If you guys get divorced, you're not going to keep those. You're not going to keep those pictures. So I feel like,
That's a good one.
So why do you want it without them? And I explain to them, and this is something that I always tell my clients. This is something I always tell my clients. I'm spitting facts right here. So I think what's very important is to tell them, it doesn't matter of the size of the family. It matters of the combinations. So you could have 30 people and take 3 times longer than a family of 100. So it really depends, and you have to explain to them every family picture is going to take 2-3 minutes. And when you tell them that, they're going to create a list that's more feasible for you, and you're not going to be a slave to the family pictures.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick, it just made me think of this because I feel like it kind of ties in with all this table shots.
No.
Oh, I love doing table shots.
I'm not a fan.
I am such a fan.
I said no for my wedding.
Because you weren't up to date when your wedding that wasn't that popular. But now with the TikTok reels, that's very popular. I
still find that I'm
what table shots?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I wanted to.
He left. He left us. I guess he doesn't like them either.
Right, I'm back. So
he doesn't like them either.
Dude,
high five.
People are paying way too much money for photography to have me go to tables. I think that it depends. I personally feel like I will do it if they absolutely want it. And in some cultures, Southeast Asian weddings, it's kind of a thing. Like, you have to do it. But what I do is I have my second shooter or my assistant, with both are very good at taking photos. They're the ones that do that because they're hiring me for my creativity. And I want to capture moments as opposed to just going to tables. And most of the time, the actual bride and groom don't want to do it either. Those are the parents that want to do it. So the bride and groom want to be on the dance floor. They want to be drinking. They want to be dancing. So
no, I have bride and grooms that want to do it. Thank you. TikTok generation.
Well, I will do it, but I would rather not. But, like I said, I cater to the client.
You just left us off the screen.
No,
you just walked away from
it. We wanted his honest opinion. And
that's what we're here for. We're here to tell you the nitty gritty. Yeah. The nitty gritty.
That's why we're a good co-host, because she usually doesn't agree with me. So we give both. She likes it. I don't. That's great. We got all perspectives.
Yeah.
Do you have a question that you think your couple should ask photographers more? Like, what should couples give us one question that couples should be asking photographer in order for them to make a decision on who they decide to hire?
To be honest, when it comes to me, I really just want to know if they like my style or not. Because a lot of times, a lot of photographers, some of them have a name, and some of them are well loved by a cousin that they shot and wherever. So sometimes people come to other vendors going to you not because they love you, but because their family love them. And I just want to know, do you love me for me? It's like a relationship. I want to know that if they trust me, because if they don't trust me, I don't want to shoot the wedding. Because I think trust is a very big thing when it comes to for photography. So what I do ask my clients every single time is how are you guys as a couple? How they are as a couple and their dynamic is very important to me in making my decision. And I'm not saying that to be stuck up. I am not stuck up. I am
bougie.
very humble. I'm very humble. But I come from a...
But I get it. I think we do the same. I think Christian and I do the same thing. Yeah. We're like that too. Like
we interview our couples.
We interview our couples. They might not be a good fit for you, for your brand, right?
But, and it has nothing to do with looks, religion. It doesn't have to do with that. It has to do with if they're willing to meet me halfway to create the stuff that they want me to create. Because I've had clients come to me and say, we love you, but we want brighter pictures and we don't want to do an engagement session and we don't want to do this. I'm like, all right, guys, if you can't love me, but like love me and respect
unconditionally.
Yeah, yes. respect my process.
Take my sexy photos or not.
So that's a good question right there. I want to interrupt you. So let's say a couple is shy. You just mentioned that a couple said to you they don't want to take engagement pictures. Is it a must that you should meet them before the day? What is...
I don't do weddings without them. So when I first started doing wedding photography, wedding photography is all about making money at the back end. And a lot of photographers have, as an additional cost, the engagement session. And we're all human, no matter how much money you make. Everybody wants to save money. So a lot of times they have their cousin or they had a gift for an engagement session and they say, you know what, we don't need an engagement session. Let's just save on that so we can get a book towards it. And I started noticing that I was going to weddings, not knowing my clients, and I wasn't having the connection. My pictures weren't as strong. And I felt very lost with the chemistry. So what I started doing was giving it as a free gift and actually losing that. I didn't add 1,000 or 1,500 and then tell them it was free. No, I literally just didn't charge for it because I think it's that important. Because when you go to my website, the way I think about it is that when you go to my website and you go to my Instagram and you fall in love with the pictures and you see how engaged the clients are and how vulnerable they are to the camera, that's because I put the time in to get to know them, to build trust. Now, if you're telling me that you're not willing to even if you're not willing for me to give you a free engagement session and I tell you all what I just told you and they say, well, we still don't want to do it, it's not for me. So I tell them, listen, I'm not sure if we're a right fit. And that's with all the respect.
86 them.
No, I think that's great. I think that building a chemistry and a relationship with the clients is going to work in so many positive ways. It's going to help you. It's going to help them. I feel like it's an overall win-win. So I tell couples too, hey, I don't need a lot from you, but I need at least one more meeting from you. It could be virtual, even if, but let's talk music. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Let's the logistics. I just talked to a potential bride today and her fiance is off in med school somewhere else and she's in here and there. I say, hey guys, we don't need to meet in person.
But you both need to be,
yeah. Can we at least meet on Zoom, get to know each other, talk a little bit, make sure that this all makes sense. So I think that's great that you're doing that. You're making the time for it. Because some people are just they should just say yes to every event.
Yeah.
They don't get to know their couples. They show up. I had a bride one time who just, made a decision off of maybe a website or something like that. Wanted to wring the photographer's neck, just was unhappy, not necessarily with the picture quality, but just the personality.
Yeah. And sometimes the personalities don't vibe. You don't vibe with the person.
Listen, when you I'm sorry.
Sorry.
When you go to a restaurant, my wife called me bougie and annoying, but I like going to restaurants. I like going to upscale hotels. I like people to pamper to me, right? Now, I work hard. I want to play hard. But the problem is sometimes you go to some of these restaurants, I'm a big foodie. And I don't care how good the food is, if the service isn't right or the experience isn't right, it kind of ruins it for me. And I feel that there's a lot of good photographers out there, and I don't think that, if they don't go with me, they're going to lose out in their happiness. There's so many photographers out there, so much talent. But a lot has to do with the connectivity and also the personalities, and the experience. For me personally, I would rather, like, for me, I know that I'm a good photographer. I practice hard. I do everything. But in my reviews, if you go to my reviews, when people say Michael Ramos did great on my photos, I'm like, like, it doesn't really do anything for me. I love the clients that are like, he made me feel this way, or he did this to make it better. I want to make impact. I don't want to just make pretty pictures. And that's why I got into this business, because I like serving people. I like having impact. I've had clients that, and they've actually said it, out there in the universe, that there's this one client that contacted me, and if they see this, shout out to them, that they were like in a bad spot. Like, they were having those wedding planning blues, and
the wedding jitters.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, during the session, it was kind of like weird, and she canceled, and I'm like, come on, just come out, because whatever. So we did the session, and they were kind of cold. And by the end of the day, like, he was like opening the door for her, kissing her, and we went to dinner, and it was all this thing. And I thought it was cool. A couple days later, she calls me and goes, Mike, we love the pictures. Thank you so much. I'm going to just tell you something. We were thinking about calling off the wedding. And the reason why we canceled the engagement session was because we didn't think we were going to go through with it. We were just fighting too much, and we thought that whatever. And we went there because you kind of forced us into it, like, kind of like, whatever. And they said that they had a spark. He opened the door for her, little kisses here and there, and they got stronger from the engagement session. And, all
right, so you a therapist too. I
got a little chill from that story.
That's so
I didn't even know that I was doing it, but it's one of those things that, like, because my wife and I are criers in different ways. My wife likes theater and stuff. I'm like a Yankee guy. I cry for everything Yankees. But but for me, when she told me that, I started tearing, because I'm like, this is crazy. And that's her telling me that is better than 10 reviews telling me that I have a great photo. You know what I mean? Because I make differences.
Of course.
And I think that's with all realms of photography. There's people killing it in the boudoir game, that, women don't feel beautiful, and you go to a session and you feel beautiful. That, you know how much that changes somebody's whole way of thinking. You know what I mean? So I think photography is very powerful, and it could change somebody's personality. It could change somebody's view on life. And I don't want them looking back at their wedding and being like, that was a great picture, but that asshole, man, that guy made us do this, this, and this.
Wait. You can't curse. Can we curse?
Sorry.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
I don't curse that much. But,
I don't know.
Whatever.
That's okay. That's okay. If you hire Mike, just be prepared. He might curse.
I'm a dirty mouth.
I curse
more.
No.
So basically, I don't want them thinking this is a great picture, but you know what? This guy was a jerk. You know what I mean? I want them to feel like, I want them to know every time I take them out, it's because I know it's for the betterment of their photos, and not that I'm self-serving myself for an award or for this or for that. It's strictly for their experience. And that's something that I really, I'm very proud of.
It's awesome. So
we're almost at time.
Yeah, I think we are at time. So Mike, a lot of great insight.
Great
tips. That little, story that you shared with us.
So if you're having issues in your
that was great.
if you're having problems for photography, for an engagement shoot.
And you know what? Something else that stood out to me, Mike, and I feel like that Belinda and I are on the same page with you. And it's about the experience. And even with like the whole review thing, I stopped asking for reviews. I email or text clients and say, can you share your experience on my Google or whatever like that? Because that's really what we're trying to create, not only with the wedding potluck, but with the vendors that we bring on. And so we appreciate that you're in that mindset, and Belinda thought you would be a good fit. And I think she was right about you. I was a little hesitant at first when we couldn't connect, but we worked it out.
He cuts some people out quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
Wait, what?
He's a Virgo.
So before we get off, is there anything that you want to leave future couples with? Something that, could help them through this process, something that, you know, would just make them a little bit more at ease, because this is overwhelming for them, you know, rightfully so.
I have two things. One thing is find vendors that are going to respect you and that aren't going to try to have like bait and switches and ulterior motives. Definitely go into, when it comes to, I just feel that you want to find vendors, but talking about photography in general, the way that I think of what, you don't want somebody that's cookie cutter and you don't want somebody that's going to transform you into what they think is beautiful. Because a lot of times you see, and I mean, there's everything in the industry, but a lot of times there's photographers that are sometimes, they do the same stuff to every single client, and not all those clients are the same. They have different ways of life, they have different relationships, they have different looks, they have different feelings, and it becomes kind of sensitized. It just becomes like one big photo shoot that's the same thing. Every photographer, I'm not for everyone. And there's clients that don't go with me and go with someone else just based on personality or maybe just whatever, or maybe my style is the same. But the way...
Yeah, your chain is a little intimidating as well.
I told you, Belinda, I said, should I go chain or no chain? And now...
I like chain!
But you're Cuban, that's why. Because you're Cuban. You can't forget it. You see? You ruined it.
I love the chain. Bring on the chain. Show that personality. You can't be more intimidating than me, so don't worry about it. We're good.
Mike has like a 50 millimeter Cuban link chain right now.
No, but all jokes aside, I believe that when I shoot people, I want people to feel like I don't want to transform you into something I think is beautiful. I want to gather information through all the time. I only do 25 weddings a year. The reason why I do 25 weddings a year is so I could be more time with each client. So I could create an experience for them that's custom. So when I'm capturing moments, or when we're doing engagement sessions or whatever, I want to bring them into the engagement session as opposed to let's go somewhere sexy or let's go somewhere here. Because at the end of the day, your family members are like, like that's not them. So what I want to do is I want to get who you guys are, and I want to create beauty through that, but kind of like bring you to the forefront as opposed to masking you to what I think is beautiful. And I think you should find people that are going to embrace you and not change you. I think that's a big thing for me.
Ooh, embrace you, not change you. Yeah. That's a takeaway.
Accept me for who I am, Belinda.
That's right.
Stop trying to... I have big teeth, not big gums.
Accept me for my chain, all right?
Tell him. Accept me for my boldness.
No,
my bossiness.
This is great. I do. When you send me those text messages, I'm like, oh, that's Belinda.
Thank you so much,
Mike. This was great, man.
This was really, really good.
Thank you. So, where can people find you?
So my Instagram is MJRPics, MJRPICS, and guess what? My website is Ramos.com. Ramos.com. That's it.
Oh, that's little curveball right there.
That's another story for another day. I'll tell you that for another day.
Okay, so Instagram, one more time.
MJRPICS.
Okay, and Ramos.com is his website. Jersey based, but do you travel or you stick more in the tri-state area?
Baby.
He travels and he does celebs and celebrities.
Yeah, I've gone to Italy. Yeah.
He's a little bougie.
Greece. Mm-hmm. I've gone around them all.
Right, because this is a nationwide podcast. So just in case you're listening from somewhere outside of the tri-state, although we're based out of here,
I do Miami a lot.
So thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of people with chains as well over there.
I've never let it down.
So.
He is stereotyping today. He's just throwing heat on us Cubans.
It's all right. There's Colombian. I'm Colombian. There's a lot of Colombians in Miami too.
With chains like that?
Wait. He has the beads. He has those little beads.
Oh, he has everybody. Yeah.
I didn't even see you. I knew you had it. You Colombian?
For real? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's it. We're like born with these things.
Here. Just get a chain and you'll feel better about yourself, bro.
I get it. Is that my chain? I have one, but it was thin, so I am eating. I'm like, man, that's a thick chain. I gotta shoot more weddings.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys for listening and tuning in once again to the Wedding Potluck, where we're here once again to help, to guide, to get you through this process. My name is Christian, aka DJ Menace, with none other than
Belinda from Sovereign B.
and our special guest here today, Mike Ramos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, on social media, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wedding Potluck, your go-to podcast for all things wedding planning. We hope you found our discussions and expert tips helpful in creating the wedding of your dreams. If you have a story you'd like to share or a topic you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out to us through our website, theweddingpotluck.com, or on social media at The Wedding Potluck, where you can also find more inspiration and resources. And remember, no matter how big or small your celebration, the most important thing is the love that brought you together. Until next time, let's raise a toast to love.